Have you ever felt like you were playing a role in your own life? As if you've memorized the lines, perfected the smile, but forgotten the person behind the mask? We are taught to seek applause, to count our worth in the admiration of others. But what happens when the sound of that applause fades? What is left in the silence? This is a story about a princess who lived in a castle of praise, yet felt utterly alone in its empty halls. It's a journey about the difference between being seen and truly seeing yourself. Welcome back to Gift of the Magi. In a kingdom built on ceremony and perception, Princess Orin was the master of her craft. She wasn't a ruler of lands, but a ruler of moments. Her laugh was a perfectly timed melody, her conversations a delicate dance. She gave the people what they wanted, a princess of pristine grace, a daughter of flawless charm. Her father, the king, saw her as the kingdom's greatest diplomatic asset. Their relationship was not one of warmth, but of performance reviews. King Orin, your presence at the reception for the Southern Duke was impeccable. He was thoroughly impressed. Your smile alone could secure a trade agreement. Orin, thank you, father. I'm glad I could be of service to the kingdom. King, it's not just service, my dear. It is your purpose. Now, about the upcoming masquerade. Orin never felt the warmth of his praise, only the weight of his expectations. She craved genuine connection, a simple, unscripted moment of emotional validation. But she didn't know how to ask for it. Instead, she collected applause like seashells, beautiful and empty. She lived in a silent crisis, drowning in loneliness while being the most popular person in the kingdom. This profound emptiness made her vulnerable. She didn't fall in love. She fell into patterns, desperately hoping someone could fill the void she felt inside. First, there was the brooding poet, who saw her as a muse for his sorrowful verses. She tried to absorb his melancholy, thinking if she could fix him, she could prove her worth. Poet. Ah, princess, your eyes hold the sadness of 1,000 twilight farewells. Orin. Perhaps they do. Tell me your sorrows. I can bear them. But he didn't want a partner. He wanted a beautiful tragedy to write about. He left when his book of poems was complete. Then came the Stoic Knight, a man of few words and even fewer emotions. She mistook his silence for strength. Orin, you're so quiet. I wonder what great thoughts you must be having. Orin, maybe he sees the real me? Maybe my endless talking is too much. Maybe if I'm quieter, he will see I am worthy. He left to seek glory in a faraway war, never sending a single letter. With each departure, Orin's internal script was the same. Orin, why do they always leave? It must be me. My love is too heavy. I am too much for them to handle. Lady in waiting. Your Highness, she keeps choosing men who are mirrors of her own emptiness, and then weeps when they reflect it back at her. And that was the heart of her loneliness. She was surrounded by people, yet insulated by her own performance. No one could reach the real Orin, because she had buried her so deep. Then, whispers arrived at court of Prince Jacob's at the south. Sharp-witted, fiercely independent, and brutally honest. Orin was immediately intrigued. She saw his emotional distance not as a red flag, but as a mountain to be conquered. Orin. Good morning, Prince. I trust you are finding our collection of books to your liking? Prince Jacobs. It's adequate. Orin. Adequate? My, you are a man of high standards. Tell me, are you always so mysterious or just emotionally constipated? Prince Jacobs. You talk enough for both of us, Princess. It saves me the effort. And Orin's heart fluttered. She mistook his insult for a shared joke. She read his dismissiveness as a sign of depth. Orin, tell me something real, Prince. What is your favorite season? Prince Jacobs. Winter. Everything is quiet and sleeping, much like a good conversation should be. I'll be leaving for my winter estate on the 9th of next month. Orin. The 9th. That's my lucky number. I told him that yesterday. He remembered. He's so thoughtful. Lady in waiting. He used her favorite number to announce his departure from her. How is that thoughtful? Orin overhearing them, defensively. You're overthinking it. He isn't bothered by my quirks. He doesn't ask me to be quiet or demure like everyone else. He tolerates me. I would be a fool to let a man like that go. Tolerate. She saw tolerance as a grand prize. She interpreted every barb as a form of intimacy, every moment of neglect as a test of her devotion. The journey of finding yourself often begins when you realize you are walking in the wrong direction. But Orin was still running headfirst toward a cliff. And then came the night of the masquerade, thrown in honor of Prince Jacobs. The king had made his intentions clear. King, this alliance with the South is crucial. Jacobs is a serious man. Orin's charm will seal the deal. This bond will be the greatest achievement of her reign. Orin heard this, and her hope soared. This was it. The validation from her father, the love of a prince, the end of her loneliness. It was all converging into this one perfect night. Her heart pounded louder than the orchestra as she saw Prince Jacob standing alone by the balcony, observing the crowd with a detached air. This was her moment, the culmination of the story she believed she was owed. Orin, Prince, the music is beautiful tonight. May I have this dance? Prince Jacobs. No. The refusal, sharp and clean, cut through the noise of the party. Humiliation washed over Orin, hot and suffocating. Orini, I didn't mean to be presumptuous. I've come to care for you deeply. I love you, and I thought. I hoped you felt it too. Prince Jacobs. Love? Princess, you don't love me. You don't even know me. You love the idea that someone, anyone, might finally fill the echoing cavern inside you. You're in love with a solution, not a person. Get over yourself. Each word was a stone, and the princess, made of glass, shattered. No one came to her defense. The silence was deafening until her father, the king, his face purple with rage, finally spoke. King. Guards, seize him. Remove this insolent fool from my sight immediately. Prince Jacobs. No, your majesty, wait. It was a jest, a terrible, cruel joke. Orin, you know I didn't mean it. But for the first time, Orin didn't try to reinterpret his words. She didn't search for a hidden meaning or a silver lining. She simply absorbed the truth of them. He was right. She was a joke. And in full view of the entire court, the golden princess broke. She turned, her ball gown feeling like a lead weight, and she didn't just walk away. She ran. They say shame is a heavier burden than pain. Orin ran without a plan, fueled only by the desperate need to escape the eyes, the whispers, the truth. She ran until her lungs burned and her feet bled, collapsing deep within an ancient, mist-shrouded forest. Orin. Where? Where am I? I'm so thirsty. Her eyes fell upon a small, impossibly clear pond, its water glistening like liquid moonlight. She crawled towards it, desperate. But as she knelt down to drink, she recoiled in shock. Orin. My reflection. Why can't I see my reflection? Because the person you're looking for isn't really here. Orin. Who said that? Who are you? Fetty. I am the spirit of this forest. Part-time guide, full-time truth teller. That pond you're looking at? It's a soul pond. It doesn't reflect your face. It reflects your essence, your truest self. And yours, my dear, appears to be missing. Orin. Missing? I've lost myself? Fetty. Misplaced it more like. Buried it under years of pretty dresses and forced smiles. No self, no reflection. It's not just a cute forest rule, princess. It's a cosmic warning. And until you find it, you cannot leave this forest. While the king sent search parties across the land, Princess Orin was miles away, on a quest she never knew she needed. Orin, I have to find it. My reflection. Myself. How? Fairy. Exactly. There is a maze in the heart of this forest. An emotional obstacle course, if you will. It's where all lost things end up. If your sense of self is gone, a piece of it is waiting for you at the center. Now, remember, the self you are looking for isn't a new one you create. It's the original one you abandoned. Toodles. Orin. Right. Better soul searching than soul sulking. Orin walked deeper into the woods and soon stood before a towering maze made of shifting, thorny vines. As she stepped inside, whispers echoed around her. They were her own memories. Maybe my love is too heavy. Maybe I am too much. I did it perfectly. Why isn't he proud? At every turn, she confronted the moments of hollow applause, the private crumbling, the desperate search for love in all the wrong places. Finally, at the center of the maze, she saw not a memory, but a feeling made real. A small, weeping child, no older than 5, stood alone on a misty dock, watching a massive ship sail away into the fog. And in that instant, the final wall inside her broke down. A memory she had suppressed for decades came flooding back. Her parents, for political reasons she never understood, had left her behind to be raised by the court. They had sailed away and never returned. She hadn't been searching for a prince. She had been searching for the parents who left. She hadn't been trying to win a man's love. She had been trying to prove to the ghost of that little girl that she was finally worthy enough not to be abandoned again. Orin collapsed to her knees and for the first time, cried for the right reason. She wept for the little girl she had left behind. And as she hugged that vision of her younger self, a warmth spread through her chest. It was the beginning of self-love. King, you arrogant boy. Because of your venomous tongue, my daughter is lost. You will pay for this. No, father. Orin, you found your daughter because of him. We should be thanking him. King, daughter, where have you been? Orin, in search of myself. I got lost in a forest and found my way by remembering who I was before I felt I had to be somebody else. Oh, she tried to explain, but she saw the confusion on her father's face. And in that moment, Orin realized something profound. Her journey did not need to be understood or validated by anyone else. It was hers. It was real. And that was enough. She ordered Prince Jacob's released, giving him a pardon and a kind smile. Orin, you were cruel, but you were also right. Thank you for holding up a mirror I was too afraid to look into myself. From that day forward, a new queen began to emerge. Orin still laughed, but now it was for the joy of it. She still danced, but now it was to feel the music in her soul, not for the eyes of the court. When applause came, she accepted it with grace, but it no longer defined her. She ruled with warmth, not performance. With truth, not perfection. And under her reign, the kingdom flourished, because the girl who once begged for love had become a woman who was the source of it. I spent so long chasing the echoes of approval that I forgot the sound of my own voice. I still want to be seen, but now I finally see myself too. And that is the greatest gift of all. Thank you for joining us on this journey at Gift of the Magi. If this story of finding yourself resonated with you, please show your support by hitting the like button and subscribe for more tales that explore the heart and soul. Until next time, remember to be kind to yourself.